Geschwader sofort starten. Einfliegende feindliche Bomber. Probieren Sie sich über den Flugplatz und wenden Sie sich an den Malala-Bodo, um einen Blick dort zu erhalten.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Horrido Campaign for the Focke-Wulf Anton in DCS World, and welcome to Mission 2, where our briefing is very simple: just get started and get off the ground as soon as possible. There is a massive formation of 4-engine bombers on its way towards Germany, and so we are to scramble, head north and try and intercept. Really simple premise, really fun mission, so let's jump in.
Falke an Valhalla Kontrolle. Wir sind gestartet. Valhalla zu Falke, verstanden. Geht nach Richtung 010. In Richtung nach Postnunkerk. Steigt auf 7000 Meter. Drehen auf 010. Steigen auf 7000 Meter. Kakadu ist in der Luft mit 12109ern. Haben verstanden. Caruso 280. Drehe nach 280. Gesilbe, wir sind gestartet. Valhalla fill up. Caruso 230. Die dicken Autos nähern sich der Küstenlinie. Vitamine, Caruso 330. Sind auf dem Weg.
So after a desperate climb to try and get up to 7 kilometers as quick as possible, it isn't long after we break through the top cloud layer that we start to spot the contrails.
Kondensstreifen, 10 Uhr. Verstanden, ich sehe Sie. Da sind die 4 dicken Karren. Sieht so aus, als hätten Sie einige Jäger als Eskorte dabei.
And here we're given a choice. We can turn in and engage immediately, even though they are currently being escorted, or we can shadow them and wait for the escorts to break off.
Diese Jäger dürften kaum noch Sprit haben. Sie werden bald umkehren. Lass uns etwas steigen und sie beobachten. Wir greifen sie an, sobald sie die dicken Karren alleine lassen. Jawohl.
And so I decide just to shadow them at this point. Bear in mind, the entire idea of this campaign is we are meant to be one seasoned pilot who has taken charge of a squadron full of absolutely raw recruits, with the main goal of trying to keep them alive. Going head on with a massive bomber formation is dangerous enough. Doing so with a bomber formation with active escort is just going to get my rookies torn up to pieces. So very happy just to delay and trace along with them. The bombers are on their way to Germany, so we should have plenty of time to actually get around to intercepting these guys. And we don't really have to shadow them long before the escort fighters turn back, and then we are clear to go in.
Die Begleitjäger drehen ab. Falke, Waffen scharf, Tanks abwerfen und angreifen. Jawohl, greife an. Flight, engage bandits. Negative. Gesilbe, wir sehen die Bomber. Greifen an. Falke, Angriff.
So here I start ordering the attack. I have my entire squadron behind me, the Falke group, who I send in using the F10 menu, since DCS only supports the flight commands up to 4 aircraft. Now, they're quite happily heading in. Unfortunately, my actual flight right now have not managed to spot this giant formation of bombers, and so they're refusing to engage at this point. But that's fine, just heading in. We do also have an allied flight that is seen the bombers and is also coming in. Now, there are actually 2 large groups of bombers here. This mission does give you a choice of how many you want to put in, depending on essentially how beefy your computer is. But I just left it on the default, and that seemed to work really well. The default is for a full double box here, which is really, really fun to fly through. I am just checking my temperature is just above the green line. I was really baking the engine, taking up. So I was a little over temperature, just trying to cool the engine before I enter combat, since I will likely not be able to pay attention to it in combat. And the advice there is just to get in close, which is fine, that's what I was planning on doing. Trying to get as close as possible. I do have the nice amount of height advantage here, so I can dive in. Realise that I've kind of got two groups here, deciding which one to go for. Decide to go for the lead group, mostly because I can see friendly fighters going in on that group, and this way the return fire will be divided. Now, first off here, we do have the air-to-air rockets, and so I decide to give them a try. Do make a little bit of a dangerous approach here, sitting right on the 6 of this formation. That really helps me try and get a shot off. Goes right over the first plane, but beautifully there hits the plane in front of it, and one of these rockets is just enough to rip a B-17 apart. And so there we go, that is the first kill, with then a bunch of rounds put into another B-17, followed by a bunch into a third, and then I blow through the formation and try to recover. So pretty happy with that. Getting a hit with the air-to-air rockets is always a bit of a dice roll, and so getting a solid hit there was a really good start. Can see there another one of my wingmen come in, get another rocket hit, taking a wing off another B-17, so that's another one going down. We do get some calls there. Our guys are taking return fire, they're getting hit. Can see some of the B-17s are catching on fire and slowly losing their place in the formation. Can see the return fire is coming back at the planes on the 6. I do turn over a little bit too hard here, wing stall just a little bit. Can see the formation, although it's starting to break up, is still really strong there. And yeah, the advice of don't sit on their 6, otherwise you'll get clobbered is very apt. It's very easy to get over cocky when attacking these formations, because there isn't a lot of visible fire, but they will shoot back as and when they think they can get a hit. And right there I get a little bit too close, I do take a little bit of a hit. Nothing major, but do put a few rounds in, get a couple more fires burning on those planes. And nicely enough, those fires do tend to kill these planes. Fires in DCS are very bad. Bombers can shrug them off sometimes, but not consistently. And so very often, as soon as you get a fire, that is the plane going down. See there another plane coming apart. Unfortunately, I think that is one of our wingmen that has just been cut to pieces by the return fire. You can see on my wing, I did take a little hit there, but the hit isn't too bad. It's not really damaged my control surfaces. See a plane absolutely coming apart there. I'm not sure if that was that damaged plane from before or someone else who's taken a really bad hit. Either way, I'm diving back in here. Get more warnings of bandits inbound, so try and make this pass count. Get a nice hit there. Do take again a couple of rounds of return fire, nothing too bad, but really big hits on that B-17. You can see I've taken off one of its elevators, big fire, and it's already losing altitude, so that's probably another one down there. Now, just trying to recover my altitude, recover my position. You see they are shooting back at me, so trying to be at least a little bit unpredictable. And you may just see there we've got contrailing coming in. These are replacement escort fighters that are trying to join the formation. And so it suggests here that we abandon the attack at this point. And so I decided, right, I've still got ammo, may as well just try and use up all the rest of my ammo in one pass here. Get good hits here, multiple fires on that B-17, and then open up on this other one. raking across its engine, its wing, a lot of damage there. I do still have a couple of rounds, but decide, no, let's not push this. And order the Falk Wing to head back home, and then call in my own flight and tell them to RTB. See, the other fighters are coming in, but at this point I'm hoping we can just break off. Our formation is very much divided. You can see there's some more B-17s going down from these fires that I put on them earlier. And otherwise that was a good trip. We do manage to break away. There is a couple more rounds of engagement, but nothing too bad. Then I just follow a river all the way back to the airfield, set it down for a nice landing. The damage really wasn't too bad. My landing was a little bit fast, so I did have a fair amount of a bounce, but plenty of runway, so that wasn't really an issue. And yeah, really fun session, and definitely a successful little sortie there. I managed to get 6 B-17s in the end there, 1 with rockets, the rest with guns that set fires that eventually burnt the planes out. And so yeah, I think my pilot is definitely getting a medal or 3 when he gets home. And then on top of that, the various allied planes that we had there, my wing and the other flights managed to get an additional 7 B-17s. So that's a total of 13 were shot down by our little engagement there. We did take losses in return. We lost 6 total Focke-Wulfs during that engagement. But still, really fun and enjoyable little session there. And yeah, definitely enjoyed that. Going up against these massive bomber formations was definitely my favourite part of the Jagdflieger campaign, and it is really fun to do in an Anton, where you just got this really decent amount of stopping power there, and a lot of defence that you can actually take return fire and kind of shrug it off a fair amount. So yeah, definitely enjoying this campaign, definitely looking forward to the next mission. Hope you are all too. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.